Hello, Music Worcester fans. Adrien Finlay here, continuing my discussions with our 2014 performers, and I have the great pleasure of being on the line today with someone who the LA Times called madly creative. John Pizzarelli, welcome. Thanks for taking our call.
I am madly creative, but that's a lot to live up to.
Hey, so, we know that you're at the start of a very busy period that has significant touring, so don't want to take up too much of your time, but I was just wondering if I could start by asking, you're known to so many of your fans here in Central Mass. What does everyone have to look forward to for May 10th when you return to Mechanics Hall?
Well, we have actually a whole new quartet. This will be the first time we'll be up there with Konrad Peshkutsky on piano, Kevin Canner on drums, and my brother Martin Pizzarelli on bass, and myself on guitar and vocals.
Excellent.
This group has just gotten together since last September, so we're very excited about taking this new. We call it the new JPQ. So it's a brand new group, and we'll be. You'll hear a lot of music from Double Exposure, Duke Ellington, Richard Rodgers, Nat Cole, Frank Sinatra, and the like.
Oh, that's perfect. Hey, you don't mind if we use the new JPQ at all in our upcoming marketing, do you?
Oh, that's quite all right. That's what we've been calling it. So we sort of like it ourselves.
Oh, excellent. So, we know that obviously you've been here a few times, and and I always love to ask this question, as someone really new to Worcester myself still, what Mechanics Hall holds such stature, is such an incredible venue. We have musicians on the orchestral side of things telling us all the time just, how much they wish they could play here more often. I mean, what is it that experience like for you?
Well, it's a very live hall. It's a very bright hall to play in, and the audiences are very warm and receptive. So you put that together, and it's a great place to play. You don't need a lot of amplification in the room, and it's just because it's so because of its live sound and everything. Yeah. When people applaud, it's even louder, so it gets very exciting for the performer on stage. It's just it's an exciting room to play in, and the audience, since I've been there many, many times, it's just a great place to play. The audiences are just terrific.
Well, it's certainly selling well. We have very high hopes for May 10th that, a really great capacity crowd can welcome you back. Another question that's been on our mind, and I guess fortunately we do get to ask this of many of our performers, but you do come from, I guess the term is, a musical pedigree, and I was wondering if you could just take us way back to the very beginning. I mean, when did it hit you that music was your thing? When was that first instrument put in your hands? And, was it something that was, encouraged, or did it just, music was around you all the time growing up? It was just a very natural fit.
I think it was a natural fit, and then I also think when you go way back, when I was a youngster, we just had music in the house all the time, especially on Sundays. I remember, I guess my earliest musical recollections are going to my father's Uncle Pete's house. And Uncle Pete was sort of the patriarch of the family, and he taught my dad how to play guitar.
Oh, neat.
He was young.
Cool.
And his brother, Pete's brother, Bobby, was also a guitar player who went out on the road and played with big bands. So they inspired my dad and to play the guitar. And then when I was about 6.5, they put a tenor banjo in my hand, and they taught me tenor banjo first. And I was about between 10 and 13 when I started to pick up the guitar in the house, because I was realizing it's the same instrument, it just has more strings. So I started to play that and play along with Elton John and Beatles records and things like that, and started to form little groups amongst my friends. We would have little rock bands that we played dances and things, and it just was something that became fun for me, and we would learn songs off of records, and my father started to hear what we were doing, and he was like, well, if you can learn those rock songs, can you learn some of this stuff? And he'd play me records that he was on with other guitar players and say, if you learn this little duet I did with this guitar player, maybe we could do it on my concerts.
Oh, cool.
And I would learn these parts, and then whenever my father would play a solo concert somewhere, I would sit backstage, and then he'd say, "Oh, come out and play a duet with me," and that's how I started to get more accustomed to playing jazz and being around my father. And then we'd start to work together, I guess, when I was about my late teens, going into my 20s, and around that time is when I heard my father introduced me to the Nat King Cole Trio on record.
Oh, yes.
And that's when I heard that. I was like, whoa, I could really like doing that for the rest of my life. And that was really sort of life-changing, was hearing that group, and what they had to offer musically was tremendous to me, and that became really the foundation for what I was going to do for the rest of my career, hopefully.
Oh, wow. Just all really fit well for you. So
Lucky.
No, absolutely.
The thing is that there was never a moment when I thought I was going to do it for a living. I just always liked doing it, and obviously I was getting paid to certain places, but I never realized it was something that I did. It's really not a job, which is the best part about it. It's sort of amazing that I get to go places and play I Got Rhythm for a living. It's a gift that I'm always amazed by.
That's the best possible scenario.
Yeah.
So for those here in Worcester who have followed you for years, any hints at what's to come after May? Obviously, I'm sure many of them follow you around, but any big things on the horizon that you might be able to suggest to us?
That'd be very good. I really wish I had some really great things to tell you about. I mean, we're just touring about. I haven't put together any kind of real record for the future, and every concert is a discovery towards that. So I haven't. The big thing is just having this group and developing its personality. I had a group for many years with a gentleman named Ray Kennedy on piano, and my brother, and then the last group that was up in Worcester was with Tony Tedesco on drums and Larry Fuller on piano. So, and that group was together for about 8 years. So this group is just about 6 months old, and we're looking forward to having its own personality and making musical discoveries on a nightly basis. So it's exciting for us to be bringing it into Worcester.
Excellent. And again, there's no doubt in my mind that we will give you the warmest possible welcome here on May 10th. So, John, thank you so much. And for all of you out there listening who might not yet have your tickets, musicworcester.org, May 10th, 8 p.m., John Pizzarelli and the new quartet. Thanks again, John.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
See ya.